kids and video games. They have become my son's main way of staying connected to his friends, so we have not been regulating his usage as much. But he has become obsessed, it affects his behavior, and we can see him losing focus on everything else in life. Any tips for how to manage and regulate this while keeping harmony in the household?
It's a good question. It speaks to media use. Specifically, we're talking about gaming, and I know that it can be extended to media of different types. So I was just taking notes as you were reading the question, and what stood out for me is these words obsessed and losing focus, and then this desire for how do we stay regulated and in harmony as a family. I think the question was phrased beautifully, and what I hear from that is some longing, right? Obsessed and losing focus. What I'll say to coaching clients is, are these patterns of behavior, whatever they are they serving you? Are they serving you? If the answer is no, then we want to change course. So I don't know if it was a mom or a dad here who wrote in, but
I think it was a mom.
Mom. So she's saying her son's behaviors are not serving her, or it sounds like that. The question is, how would her son answer that? And sometimes we say, yeah, our behaviors are just fine. Yeah, that's serving me. But again, when we kind of sit still with it and we say, is this serving me, or is there a different path? Sometimes it uncovers, we may not know the alternatives. This is what a lot of parents do. They shut down. They put limits and firm limits and say, you've got to stop with the gaming, right? It's not serving me is what they're saying kind of underneath. You've got to stop with the gaming because this isn't serving our family. Well, that may be true. And, go outside and play instead. Or don't you know how to do something that's not, a video game? What I found with clients is that when I use the yes and technique, when I'll say, okay, you don't want to do schoolwork. I get it. Okay. You don't want to do schoolwork. Why not? Because I hate it and it's stupid and it's boring and it's pointless or whatever they're going to say. What would an ideal day, if you could shape your day, and this is funny because I've been asking this for years and now it's a reality for a lot of kids. If you could shape your day any way you want, you could spend your time any way you want, what would you do? I'd play video games all day long. And you can see the parents cringing. And then I'm going, okay, well, why? What would you be doing with the video games? And the more I use this, yep, and, okay, and, I start to see them uncover some goals. And I start to see them actually say, well, I get to play with my friends that way, or I have a sense of control, it's what I'm good at, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So to start to answer that question, which I think is a really good one, and I imagine a lot of parents are experiencing the same thing, I come back to this question of, is this serving me? And if it's not, then rather than clamping down, and this is a media literacy approach, it's what are we going to do? How are we going to collaboratively problem solve here? Because I can't tell you, Lisa, how many times parents have said that to me, and then even we're in a family session and they're on their phone. Right? So it's a two-way street here. And I know that technology is addicting and it's also a source of connection. So there's a fine line. But limits and boundaries are important. And I think that recognizing when it's these words obsession and losing focus, something's going on there that I think encourages further investigation.